For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe. Our food is unfit to eat. Sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Gun-related crimes occurring in St. Lucia. Also, what measure is the government being advised now to dump, much touted by Prime Minister and Minister with responsibility for finance, Mr. Philip J. Pierre? Wouldn't you love to reach a point where, for example, St. Lucia would have 17 independent MPs? 17 independent MPs. Is that possible? Yes, it is. And also coming up in our broadcast this afternoon, somebody has a new definition for PhD. Welcome to another edition of NewsSpin right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on YouTube and the NewsSpin Facebook page. My name is Timothy Poleon. We go up until 2 o'clock this afternoon with your calls and WhatsApp messages, of course, and your discussions in the chat room. And to do us the honors is Kimani. She'll be going through some of the comments. If it weren't very serious, it would be laughable. I'm referring there to the spate of shooting incidents that we continue to record in St. Lucia. And the usual response would be astonishment being expressed, amazement, condemnation, and cries from the St. Lucian public for the authorities to do something about this malady. And what can be done? We continue to hear those in authority, including the Prime Minister, say he's not a police officer, and in effect that he can't do anything about the problem. Which leaves us to ask the question, of the myriad of problems that we are experiencing in St. Lucia, Mr. Prime Minister, Cabinet of Ministers, what can you do about any of those problems? high unemployment. What can you do about it? It appears that the answer is nothing, nada. Problems in the island's health sector. What can you, as a Prime Minister, as a government, do about it? Nothing. Beyond your control. Us having those precious goods such as sugar, what can you do about it? Because we've been facing that shortage over several months now, intermittently. Nothing. So why are you in office? What can you do about the various problems impacting the country? I hope at some point in time, the Prime Minister, Cabinet of Ministers will furnish us with a response. Well, what can we do? Well, we can do this, we can do that. We can play the politics. We can create jobs for cronies, family members, for hacks. Those are the things that we can do. We can besmirch the character of our opponents. That we can do. What we also can do is to divide the people of St. Lucia so that we can benefit from this and win election after election. And so last evening it was the turn of Pierrot in V4 to record a shooting incident. Two young men were shot, and according to media reports, they were injured in the process, taken to hospital, and we can only wish them a speedy recovery. Now, what we like to say is the same thing is happening in Trinidad and Tobago. Shooting after shooting occurring in Jamaica. It is happening in a number of other Caribbean countries. But what those countries do not have in common with St. Lucia, and we boast about it a lot, considering we are on the verge of observing our independence anniversary, is that we have 2 Nobel laureates. We boast about that. How we have 2 Nobel laureates. And Antigua does not have even 1 Nobel laureate. Barbados does not have a Nobel laureate. Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica. But we have 2 Nobel laureates. And we claim them. We believe that we are responsible for their success. We had something to do with that. But when it comes to the crime problem, we have that in common with a number of other countries and other nations in the world. There's not, very soon the Prime Minister will be comparing us to what is happening in Gaza, so many people, 26,000 people have died. And it's a fact. But I'm just saying, in the case of St. Lucia, we've had only 7 homicides for the month of January, etc., etc. We must start, and the Prime Minister likes to say, that's all copy. We must start believing in ourselves. We must set ourselves apart from other countries when it comes to certain problems that we have in common with them. So the extent that we can say, yes, we have the situation over in Trinidad, we have it in Jamaica, we have it in Barbados, but this is what we are offering as a way of a solution to that scourge. And who knows? If you're creative, if we're inventive, Jamaica might learn a thing or two from us. Trinidad might learn a thing or two from us. And the National Security Minister, Fitzgerald Hines, on an occasion will be able to say, this is what we're able to copy from St. Lucia as far as fighting crime is concerned. And not only make reference to St. Lucia having recorded 75 homicides last year, because he's doing the same thing. Those politicians in the Caribbean, they have certain things in common, looking for excuses. So little St. Lucia, 75 homicides, and we have had so many homicides over in Trinidad and Tobago. Just compare, we're not that bad, etc., etc. It is high time for our politicians, for our public sector workers, police commissioners to stand out, because they seem to be only existing in name and in rank. But when it comes to performing to the satisfaction of the citizenry, they are left wanting. I mean, most of our police commissioners over the last a few years, they have failed the people of this country. And they claim that they go overseas, they study, they train over in Barbados. We have our training school in St. Lucia. They're sent on courses and so on. And definitely it is more of the same. And, you know, maybe we might reach a point where we'd say that the authorities, all those who are responsible, they're just turning a blind eye to the things that are causing crime to escalate and to be out of control in St. Lucia. Because it's a small country, small nation, small in population. We claim to know each other's business, but we don't know, you know, how the guns are entering our country, or we turning a blind eye to it. We had a canine unit. I mean, somebody suggested, insinuated that maybe the authorities deliberately decided to disband the canine unit because, you know, they are afraid of, they're just afraid of, you know, disrupting the operations of certain individuals in our country. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that is what it is. And I read somewhere that our dogs, St. Lucia canines, to operate in Jamaica, is that really true? St. Lucia canines to operate in Jamaica? And later in the broadcast, I will be sharing some information with you, because it appears that the finances to operate the canine unit were not coming from the coffers of the state. Special mechanism had been set up whereby it will be financed through certain means. And this is being deemed to be very creative. Mr. Richard Pittikin, Chartered Accountant. On Wednesday's Newsmaker Live on DBS television, said to the Prime Minister and Minister with responsibility for finance, dump the 2.5% levy. Dump it. Flush it. Dump it. But get rid of that levy. Will the Prime Minister accept the advice of Mr. Richard Pittikin? But what Mr. Pittikin is also suggesting is that while the government dump the 2.5% levy, it should increase the VAT rate to 15%. It's currently 12.5%. Let's listen to Mr. Richard Pittikin.
Let's get back to the 2.5 that you raised. You know, when that first came out and I looked at it and I tried to work on what information I had, I didn't really think it was that much at the end of the day. And so
I think you said that.
Yeah, my initial say, well, you know, it's not going to really have a major impact on it. And then, bit by bit, I started to hear from the chamber, from businesses, and I realized that A, it was an administrative headache, and B, it was compounding and making the cost of things a lot more. So, you know, at the end of the day, I realized, first of all, it's not going to raise $33 million either. So what was put in to get here is not getting there. And people are unhappy with it. It's just another tax, another more piece of paperwork. So, you know, what I told the Prime Minister is, you know what, just dump it, get rid of it, phase it up in this budget. And this was my recommendation, that just increase the VAT to 15%. Now, I know that's not always popular, but I understand that we need money for health and security. And I think, and the Chamber, by the way, said the same thing. They told the government right from the start, no, don't put this levy, just increase the VAT to 15%. Because that means that, you know, it's a flow-through thing, and you're not going to get it compounded. It's not going to have the same impact on inflation, and you're going to get more money than that. So I am not sure why they chose to introduce that. It was badly rolled out, and now they wanted to tax part of the 2.5 levy. that's going to affect, like tourism, for example. They would have to pay 2.5 on imported marketing. And so from that point of view, I think maybe this is a good time to get rid of it.
So you think the Prime Minister will act on your advice?
No, I'm a bad advisor.
Why are you saying you're a bad advisor?
No, I doubt. I mean, I'm just one person. I mean, he's got technocrats, he's got consultants, he's got, advising him, and they may come, decide differently. But they also get political advice, and they may say, you know what, this is very unpopular because it's a nuisance and it's costly. Let's find a different way of doing it, and hopefully can do that. But here's the big thing. In doing so, a Prime Minister has to say, I was wrong, I made a mistake, I'm going to take it off. We don't do that in this part of the world. We never apologize. We just, leave it in and try to justify it until it's too late. I think, to me, a real mature population, government, etc., is one that says, I've heard, I've listened, I realize the alternatives, and I will change.
So will the Prime Minister do a volte-face? Will he change his mind on the 2.5% levy? Let's wait. He might make some announcement. He might surprise us during the budget presentation. Let's open the lines at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. One cannot help but commend Mr. Richard Pitterkin. I'll tell you why. First, he said 2.5%, that's negligible. I don't see this having any major impact on the people of St. Lucia. And now he says this is worth dumping. The evidence proves it is worth dumping. He has slept on this issue. I think he has thought about it, read about it, listened to the concerns that are being expressed by members of the public and the private sector, and he has had a change of heart, and he is saying something totally different compared to what he said initially. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Tim, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Happy Friday to you.
Same to you, sir.
Tim, I have something that to deal with, but let me just start with something. I know the current situation will not pass me, what happened in Peru. Let me just quickly deal with that. You know, Tim, government losing a lot of money on the road.
In what way?
You may want to ask me.
In what way? Because what I know is the people of St. Lucia, motorists, are losing a lot of money on the road.
But the reason why I say that, just listen to me a minute. You have vehicles right now that the entire windscreen tinted, not 5 inches from the main windscreen to the top. The entire windscreen are tinted. The police are having road check. They're seeing this. Sometimes they don't bother that. You have the headlamp of those vehicles right now. I see. The guys tinted that, and the headlamp is hazard like your indicator light. You have your brakes light.
My apologies to you. I think what is of real significance right now, the poor state of the roads.
Tim, I understand.
No. I mean, I think you're putting the cart before the horse on this particular issue, sir. Okay,
Tim,
I'm saying to you. No, hold on. I'm just saying to you, you're putting the cart before the horse. Let us have the government fix the roads. Like, the government has to lead by example.
I agree.
So that road users will follow. So the government cannot say, well, you can't have a vehicle with one headlight. You're not supposed to be driving without insurance, your vehicle insurance paid, etc. And then the government, is just taking the people for a ride as far as the poor state of the roads. The government has to lead by example. So, I mean, you can speak on this occasion. I will not listen. Continue.
Tim, just very people.
Go ahead, but I will not listen. But go ahead.
What I'm saying, Tim, a lot of the behavior we have on the road can affect us, Like, it can affect you as a driver. When they hold the brakes like that, is hazard, It hazard now. You see it on taxi, on minibus, on private vehicles. I'm saying, now I know the condition of the roads are bad because I have been calling on the state of the road, I mean, in doom days and nothing has not happened. But that does not mean two wrongs can make a right. I mean, we have to respect, and I wish a police officer would have listened to that program. We have to respect the traffic laws. Am I right? We have to respect the traffic laws. And so many things that are happening on the road, the way we drive in the road, yes, there's potholes. Some of the roads are bad, but you see how fellas drive in the road recklessly. Recklessly, I could tell you. I have escaped a lot of them on the road.
And your other point?
Anyway, quickly, in regard to the crime situation, now there is a clip by the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, where he make a comment. I think it was an open ceremony or some project or thereabout. I think you're supposed to have that clip where he make abundantly that he would not allow any criminals to get big contract, whatever, to finance the firearms and whatever. He rather put the JDF and the Jamaica police to guard there instead of that is happening, and he speaks strongly against that. What happened in Pierrot there? I mean, it will happen anywhere in the island. There is no short change. It is just the entire community or constituency in St. Lucia that are paid by the crime, by crime. Sorry. So right now, the question is between we now as St. Lucian who are concerned about our business in that country, who have invested money in businesses in that country. What are we doing? And forget about the so-called national security minister. Because it seems to me he's played, that is just a game for him. He showed clearly as though he's not interested in that. I am again appealing to the Prime Minister, let that position go. There must be somebody that is I mean, have the capability to be overhead of the police, to run even the commissioner of police I have problem with. At a time when we have crime all over the place, we need tough, and I can even use the word radical person to spearhead the police force. Not with person who could barely, have a press conference and show you clearly her intention as to what is happening. So we fall up in a mess and in a quagmire, and all of us want answers. But the biggest question is, what are we doing? You will continue, Mr. Poleon, NewsSpin, in your opening of your program, you give your preamble about the crime situation. I know it is affecting you, the population, and the innocent people in that country. But the biggest question is, what are we doing about it? What are we going to do?
Okay, caller. All right, thank you so much. Let's take another call. This is NewsSpin. Good afternoon. You are on the air. Hello.
Hi, good day, Timothy. How are you doing today, sir?
I am okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Very good. So, the previous caller, just so let me tell him that he will not get no police officer to call about the tinting on the front windscreen. Because if it's one thing that you hear people complain about is loud music, and that's something he mentioned there, and the police officers are the one most guilty of such. Okay, you pass in all the stations where they work and you see those vehicles, you wonder whether they seize those vehicles, and only to know that those vehicles with those huge speakers owned by police officers themselves. Timothy, the next thing I want to mention is I want to call on the media, the reporters, because I listened to Richard Cedric last night and I heard his side when it comes to the whole vending situation. Mm-hmm. So I would like for the reporter to go to him and question him as the MP for Castries Central and the minister who directly responsible for the CCC. Not as, I didn't want to hear like what he say as a host of Can I Help You? Because I remember that lady that was on the, I think she's still located, I think she's still there at the corner of Coral and Mikud Street. And when they had a situation, if I can remember, I believe Richard was her lawyer. And her son is certainly occupying part of the road because her vehicle is part of her daily structure. Mm-hmm. So for him to say all what he said there last night, it's very good for some vendors. And now they need to go to him and ask him why all of a sudden they have that change of heart towards vending in the city. The same place he said that all over the world where you go, you see people vending all over the city. It's like that's what will bring that whole vibe to the city. So why now? So that's what I want to say. But thank you.
Thank you so much. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Good afternoon to you, Kimani.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Sakafet.
No lie.
I like that more now.
In the chat room, someone says, Tim, have you given any thought to the reason Mr. Richard Peter King, or might I say Mr. Richie Padams, the expert, would take so much more time than the average man on the street to see that this levy was bad for the country and its people? Another comment in the chat room.
But I think he deserves some credit, because somebody else would have continued to defend the initial position to say, yeah, it's okay, 2.5%. Yeah, we have some niggling issues. I think we need it at this point in time, etc., etc.
But he admitted that he was wrong.
He admitted.
Another comment, Tim, we stand a better chance of seeing American Airlines land on the field in Marshall than seeing Pierre dump the levy. Another comment, Tim, first, St. Lucians need to fire the Minister of Homeland Security, or is it National Security, after we shuffle the whole police force and find some outside people to help St. Lucia. Tim, the 2.5% levy is due to be stopped just before the next elections. What do you think?
No, because it will not continue in eternity, in perpetuity. It is for 2 years.
Right.
A lot of people don't know it's for 2 years. So it's scheduled to end by next year, on the eve of the next general election.
Another comment, Tim, I need you to ask Mr. Antoine, where is the CIP money? Is this the money they're using for jobs? Concerned citizens want to know. Another comment, as the police attack the problem at the root, the government is what should be dumped because they implemented the 2.5% levy. Someone says, Tim, you must look at the population of Trinidad. Trinidad has about 35 killings now. Before the day is done, there's going to be more.
I think we have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Yeah, Tim, how you doing?
I'm okay, caller.
Tim, I cannot let that day go by without calling to congratulate and salute Mr. Peter King. Okay, that's what that country is very lack of. Although our caller said it's a bit late, I won't quite agree with him. But if we all take that pattern, what Mr. Peter King do there, and put our pride behind, and come and say, yes, I did make a mistake, I'm sorry, that's the way, when I rethink it, that's the way it should go. Words have a lot to do with our destination and where we head to. If all this nonsense that have been said by politicians in St. Lucia, if they would just go back and make a public statement saying, man, I said that a year ago, I said that 6 months ago, and I'm sorry, I should not have said that, I apologize, and so on. That would be so great. That would do a lot for the country. When you make a mistake and you just expect it to go by and people forget it, it don't just go by. It can be years later, it will come back and haunt us. And we see it many times in the banner industry so many years ago. We see it with the crime we are facing now, the words that have been said openly in meetings, on radios, and all sorts of things. And people never come back and apologize. They shove it under the window, under the bed, whatever, and they think it will just go away. But it is haunting us now. One more thing. The scripture says, if you bring a gift before God or to God, and you have aught against your brother, God said, I don't want your gift. Leave it there. Go back to your brother. Make it right with him. Apologize to him. Make it right. And then come and offer your gift. So many of us say all sorts of nonsense, and we go to church, and we pray, and we think things are all right with God and us, and so on. But we are just fooling ourselves. We got to make it right with each other, and then we go to God, and God will accept our gift. Thanks very much, Tim.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We turn our attention again to the chat room.
In the chat room, someone says, and let me guess, still no official report on any of the shootings we've had over the past few days. Someone says, the only thing they do is sit on their butt and find ways to tax St. Lucians. There are no taxes and no money to be collected on the crimes that are happening. That's why our government is not putting stiffer measures. Look at where he turns his attention. Inland revenue, more taxes. Another comment in the chat room. Someone says, Father Albert shows he has to call at this stage. That's it, Tim.
All right, thank you so much. You are watching and listening to NewsSpin right here on Power 97.9 FM. Still to come on the broadcast, what does PhD stand for? And also, imagine a general election and all the candidates are independents. It's not a case of being a MP or candidate, for the SLP or the UWP. All the candidates contesting an election, independents. Please stay with the broadcast.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593 or 285-3329. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Call 457-4433 to get bill balances. Use myaccount.lucilec.com for detailed account information and to make online bill payments using a credit or debit card or online bank account. Customers may also take advantage of SurePay's online or walk-in service. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
Join us at the KFC Job Fair, Friday, January 26th in Richford Dennery from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. KFC is searching for enthusiastic team members, supervisors, restaurant managers, and delivery drivers, cyclists, and riders. Interviews will be done on site, so make sure to come prepared to join the KFC team and receive exceptional training and amazing benefits. Take this opportunity to shape your future with KFC. See you at the job fair in Richford Dennery.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel, and shoulder pain, cramps, and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more so the tingo. Is more wet flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More upon more wet flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video, cast app, unlimited talk, so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 to activate.
Now that's the new vibe and the lingo. Yes. More upon more, see how the tingo. It's more wet flow, now you really know. Catch it now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
Nightmares is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive, to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Automotive art is a place to start. Automotive art is a place to start.
Yeah, look, check. We got a wide range of products that are automotive and do-it-yourself supplies if you got a moment. Smart staff that'll always know it. Got rims and tires from trucks to high performance to off-roading. Start hair tools, batteries, oil, and car care.
Automotive art is a place to start.
I'm the living legacy.
This one will be epic. It is Legacy 45, Independence Edition, Saturday, February 10th, 2024. A night of Calypso icon from St. Vincent with superb vocals and repertoire. Beckett.
From the time I leave the barber, girl, I rush me.
Yes, Beckett.
Reggae teaser.
From Barbados, the legend himself, Mighty Gabby. Gabby. And the electrifying, dynamic Ras Island.
Spring garden are coming.
Ras Island.
Let's come now we jam. Fuck up over.
And repping our St. Lucian flag, the Maestro Papa Veda.
From baby soca with
the Groovy, the King Alpha. The reigning monarch, T-Black.
Guns don't kill people.
And Mr. Desrod, plus lots more. It's gonna be a blast, Legacy 45. Saturday, February 10th at the newly fully air-conditioned at the Pavilion at Rodney Bay. 8 p.m. Early bird ticket $70 till January 30th. Regular $85. Pay more at the door. Tickets available at Steve's Barbershop and The Way. Legacy sponsored by KFC, Republic Bank, the Citizen, and the Independence Committee.
The nation called Tuvalu. It's located in the Pacific. The voters there, at least I think over 6,000 are registered and eligible to cast their ballot in today's general election. Now you have 8 constituencies, and each constituency has 2 candidates. So in total you have 16 candidates. And they are all independents. They are not members of the United Workers' Party or the St. Lucia Labour Party. Independent candidates. So after the vote today, later, and the winners have been declared, what will happen is they will enter a period of negotiation. I'm referring there to the MPs, a period of negotiations. Put themselves into various groups, and among themselves, they will elect a prime minister and form the cabinet. Should we have this in St. Lucia where we do not have UWP candidate and SLP candidate, and this time the SLP candidate would change his or her allegiance, go up for on the United Workers' Party ticket, or moving from the United Workers' Party to the St. Lucia Labour Party? Why not just have independent candidates and then they enter some form of negotiation and elect an MP or Prime Minister among themselves? 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. I think we have a call on line. Hello, good afternoon, you're on the air.
Timothy, a pleasant good afternoon to you and your listeners all over the world. PW on the line, Timothy.
Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
Timothy, sometimes I wonder when your so-called experts come on the air to give their views on a particular issue, Timothy. Sometimes I wonder whether they are caught in the past or they have forgotten about the future. I am referring to your news item yesterday afternoon where the gentleman in question, Sylvanus, the $1 plane guy, the pilot gentleman, was interviewed on what the actions the government are taking towards the ferry. He said that he's wondering whether the government, is so interested in supporting the ferry service. I can't believe Sylvanus would say that. First of all, I would like to go on record and saying that I support the government, in taking a stand in supporting the ferry service. As far as I'm concerned, the French have a ferry service going up north to the French islands, to Dominica, Martinique, Guadeloupe, Anse Galante. We need to have a ferry service going south. And as far as I'm concerned, it should go as far as the ABC Islands and Guyana, part of CARICOM. I'm going to say to you that he also mentioned that all of the Caribbean islands are building international airports. Of course, they have to build international airports to sustain international flights. And also, all our airports in the Eastern Caribbean need to be upgraded. You understand? So this is why the government of the Eastern Caribbean countries are pumping money into new international airports. He goes on to say also that, think about pumping money into Liat. He said something of that nature. Liat is a lost cause. We all know Liat is a lost cause.
He didn't say pump money into Liat, PW.
We're supporting Liat and taxes.
He was given an example of the fact that when Liat was functioning, that the ticket prices or the tax on the tickets were more expensive than the ticket prices. And he was saying that it's not that he doesn't think that the ferry service doesn't make sense. He's saying in the era of airplanes, there's no need for a ferry service that takes so long as compared to having an aircraft.
Kimani, there is room for a ferry service. You must have all
yes, he did say that. But he's saying that if all of these countries are building international airports, why not use these international airports to shuttle people in the Caribbean, not just international individuals or tourists?
So we have to service the two airports. We tired of pumping money into Liat, and we all know one of the problems Liat has is bad management. And there is nothing that St. Lucia can do when it comes to Liat. There is nothing, because St. Lucia doesn't call the biggest shot when it comes to Liat. We all know that the biggest shot is being called in Antigua, 1974.
So now Mr. Ernest is saying, why doesn't the government take that into consideration and probably have some aircraft instead of having a ferry service?
But listen,
he said he's not totally against it. He's just saying that in the age.
When we have a ferry service going south, this opens trade and commerce to come into St. Lucia. This is what it happens. We have very little linkages with the South American countries and the Southern Caribbean countries. With this opening up with a ferry service, you understand, we will it will be better for us.
So why can't we have both, PW?
Pardon?
Why can't we have both?
Yes, we need to have all forms of transportation. And listen to this. There are people that get seasick. They will always use a plane to get to the destination. There are people that will not fly. They will always use the ferry. With the government reducing the tax on a ticket, that will still not cut it. People will still use ferries. You can carry an island board on a plane. You can carry a shishwa, which is a clothes hanger, on a plane. You understand? You have to carry that on a ferry. So what I'm saying to you, a ferry service is needed to go south of the Caribbean, even though the government reduced on taxes, which I am support of that. The ferry will always be cheaper. So Sylvanus need to actually support the government in all forms of transportation throughout the Caribbean. I thank you, Timothy.
All right. Thank you so much.
Tim, I think before you continue, I think PW missed Mr. Ernest's point. What he was saying is that there's an aviation issue in the region. He says that there should not be so much emphasis on ferry service. We should develop airplanes, do that type of stuff instead of just having ferry services. I think PW missed his point.
We're getting into this problem and this back and forth between you and PW. What's the message, Tim? What you explained there about the island in the Pacific is quite possible here, as our laws already allow for this. The Prime Minister is who commands the majority support in the Parliament. It is us, we the people, who choose to align ourselves to or with political parties or the other. Even so-called independents align themselves with parties. Shaking my head. 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. We have a WhatsApp call. Good afternoon to you, sir. You are on the air.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Yes. I'm talking about the vendors. I think this influx of vendors, in the city creates a problem, and it will always be a problem because everything is stored in the north and in Castries. Hello? Really?
I'm listening to you, sir.
Yeah, everything is in Castries. Everything is in Castries. That's why we have a vending problem. I can remember going at the days, right? The green gold days, right? With vendors. That the entire country was swinging. So you would get, most of the vendors would come out on weekends because the entire country was energized. The entire country was energized. And then you would get vendors all over the place, different parts of the country. Let's say like every weekend, whether it be a Saturday or Sunday, you would get some kind of activity taking place, whether it be a beach party, a dance, or side block or something. So then you would get vendors, vending, and the times the vendors used to come out 4 days a month. It was so profitable for them. They used to come out 4 days a month, right? Most of the time they used to make $1,000 a day. So they used to come out 4 days a month and make that. So you'd get less vendors. So vendors would have all the time to vend, and then all the spaces out around the country because the country was being energized. So the advice I'm giving the government, right, is to energize the rest of the country through agriculture, especially the South. I've said it before, the South is dead, right? They are basically focusing too much on the tourism sector. I can remember in 2018, Dominic Fede said that the tourism industry made over $1 billion, right? I didn't see the trickling effect. There was no trickling effect down in the south.
Caller, we need both. We need both agriculture and tourism. We'll need a little bit of manufacturing and so on. So sometimes when you're promoting, sometimes when you're promoting agriculture, it appears you want it to be at the expense of tourism. It ought not to be at the expense of tourism.
No, I haven't said that, because agriculture has profit, right? It can create its own expenses, right? But what I'm saying that the agriculture has, even if you have tourism, manufacturing and construction, the agriculture will bring the best trickling effect. You saw that during the green gold days.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Hold on, Akon. I don't know.
I know about it. I know about it, and I was in it. I was there.
Hold on, caller.
Right? I was in the midst of it.
You have a point. You have a point, but you must understand the trickling effect of tourism. The taxi driver, the wholesaler, even the vendor benefits from tourism. So I don't want it to be a case where hold on. I know you're passionate about
I'm agreeing with you.
I know that you're passionate about agriculture, but just listen for a moment. I'm just saying, as much as we need agriculture, we also need tourism and we need the other sectors.
But the agriculture has a greater trickling effect. A lot more people, right? The trickling effect will affect a lot more people in a positive way.
I disagree with you.
Well, I agree with you because I was in the midst of it, right? And that's what happened during the green gold days.
Because agriculture also needs tourism. Okay, if you have a thriving agricultural sector, you can utilize the produce. Hold on, caller. You can utilize the produce.
Not necessarily
to feed the visitors who are coming into the country. So we need both. We need all of them.
Yeah, that's true. But during the green gold days, you had less tourists, and the agriculture was still running. Right, there was this more exporting things, so more money was coming through. I was in the middle of it. I'm telling you that we need to focus more on agriculture, right? To create a relief for the north, right? You have the 7 crop project which the last government left. I believe this government,
you are still there, sir. Surprisingly,
this government should capitalize. Yeah, this government should capitalize on the 7 crop project, right? You have 7 areas. And let me just give you a quick. Yeah, they have 7 areas. You have Social, you have Labrie, you have Beaufort North, you have Miko, you have Dennery Valley. All these areas, you could capitalize the 7 crop project there, right? To create excitement in the country, so that the country can run. That's what I'm telling you. With this, at least with the 7 crop project, right, you can have a trickling effect, and it will be good for the vendors. So the whole country by then can be running. So my advice to the government to focus a lot on agriculture. It is also profitable. Have a good afternoon.
You too, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Kimani, what's in the chat room?
In the chat room, someone says there's pros and cons to political party affiliation, just as there's pros and cons to being independent. That all depends on what your moral compass and views align with. Tim Peter King didn't have a choice. When God tells your critics to speak, you have to speak. There's more to come. They won't have a choice. The truth is light, and the light is our only true God. More to come. Why must people give credit to a man for finally seeing and agreeing to something that everyone except him was seeing? Is it because he is considered the expert or because he is special? I don't understand the logic. Another comment in the chat room, someone says, without tourism, things cannot run in the country. Callers that Tim Shoyall cannot speak over him. He also has his input, just compromise.
You have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon.
Bonjour.
Bon après-midi. Moi là, moi bien. Ou même?
Oui.
Et ou même, ça fait?
Oui, moi là,
Ok.
Bonjour pour Kimani aussi.
Bonjour.
Tim, conseil moi-même, hein, pour toutes ces affaires crimes là qui a fait là. Pièce gouvernement, par rapport au physique, mettant en la main en monde et goya tuer monde. Vous comprenez?
Oui.
Mais là, on employé en monde pour faire un travail, il d'accord, il fait travail là. On a payé pour faire travail là. Responsabilité travail là sans l'ayer. Vous comprenez? M'avle moun ka dit moi tout bagay c'est gouvernement, tout bagay c'est gouvernement. Yo d'accord, yo te ça fait. Vous comprenez? Ça n'a d'où là. Jour après jour, Tim, crime ka augmenté. Moi nous savons ça ka augmenté. Vous comprenez? Avec punition pour crime là. Ka été même côté si pas ka diminuer tout. Vous comprenez ça veut dire là? So qui moun qui responsable pour ça? C'est le Premier ministre qui s'est mis en bagaille en ça. Vous comprenez? So pas dit moi ou pas ça rien. Et que moi pas le monde dit c'est nous-mêmes qui ça double ça. Vous comprenez? On mette simple consulting. Un monde ou voulez faire caillou. Ou ka garder pour un builder pour faire caille là-bas. Il dit oui ça fait caille là-bas. Ou ka payer caille pas ka fini. Qui moun ou ka questionner? Pas builder ou ka questionner?
Oui.
C'est lui pour questionner, vous comprenez? Là, ni bagay nous ça fait. Nadou, n'a bon ti expérience encore. À votre bagay kay Saint-Jude là. Avec mon cas, nous ni pour aider kono. Moi, oui, vais en Saint-Jude. Avec moi, c'est un homme qui avec moi tout de ça. Et que ça dit, moi tout, jouer les déjeuner, team. Vous comprenez? Because ça pas responsabilité, mon qui a mené manger, il just savait qu'a mené, qui déposé là. Vous comprenez? Nos là pour ba 8 mètres. Vous comprenez? Si pas on la famille ou qui vient, et pour pas ou manger ou juste là vous comprenez souvent un bonus vous comprenez pour qui en la tête toute couche monde qui déshabile qui passe à des quoi ou passe à lever la main ou passe à clair est-ce en la tête couche ou pas supposé tenir un bagage pour du monde ça la briser elle so n'importe nos qui deviner et ben elle pas yo ça monde ça là ça va manger. Moi, nous manger parce que on n'ose pas vrai. Vous comprenez? So simple things like that, they could have put in place. They are not doing it. And when you talk about that, they are talking about we're supposed to help ourselves. There are areas we can help ourselves. And there are areas where we are paying for a service. And we need to get our money worth. Tim, you take care of yourself. Have a blessed product.
You too, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to hear from you. 452-2979. Once again, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. And let me see if I have any of your WhatsApp messages to go through right now. And somebody says there, Tim, as much as the last caller has a point, he has to also realize that as a country that is mountainous, we cannot compete with other nations in terms of scale and profitability, and we need both, as you said. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, Tim, good afternoon. Crime will never reduce in St. Lucia if we don't secure our borders. Number one thing, customs and port all around the island. It don't take anyone with a PhD to know. And thank you and have a blessed day. Okay, let's see if we have some more of your messages. I think we have some messages from yesterday, and I will endeavor to see if I could go through some of them. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, good afternoon. Condolences to Tom Walcott and the family. It was Mr. Walcott who, during a Labour Party conference in Babonneau, tabled an affirmative action for consideration. It was not considered. Let's see if we have some more of your messages. I think we have another one, a WhatsApp message from yesterday. It reads, a pleasant good afternoon to you guys. All the best to you for this new year and beyond. First timer to the program in terms of contributing to the show. I've been an avid listener and watching the show for a first timer in terms of a contribution. I've got a question to ask the host of the show. Not sure if I'm going to make much sense. Sometime last evening, I happened to be watching the news broadcast on one of our local television stations. Can't really recall which one of them. I happened to see Ninja Dan and Dr. Venus Sherry. They've got this new program called ACT. I think it's a good initiative. Don't have a sweat with that. My question is, I would like to know if Ninja Dan is still a part and parcel of Rise St. Lucia. If it's not, I wonder why not. Not sure if I'm making sense and asking a question. Thanks much, guys. Enjoy what's left of your afternoon. Well, I don't know if Ninja Dan is still part of Rise Incorporated. And do we have any more comments in the chat room? Let's see. I think I have a WhatsApp message. The issue I have with the roads beyond the physical road is the traffic and the related loss of productivity as a result of increased transit times. I understand that major works are planned, but are there not temporary measures that can be instituted to improve this? Think of the time that delivery trucks spend in that traffic and anyone else that commutes as part of their profession. It will be interesting if the statistics conduct an economic analysis of the impact that traffic is having on the economy. In regard to this, let us hear from the caller to NewsSpin. I think it was the day before. That will be Wednesday of this week, complaining about some geothermal exploration activity that is taking place over in Soufrière and the possible impact it can have on a section of the Soufrière community.
The government is embarking on a project called geothermal energy. Now, they want to drill.
Which community?
The community I'm talking about is community of Myers Bridge. That's Belle Plaine, Myers Bridge, and Font Saint-Jacques.
Okay.
Now they want to drill. They want to drill to see if they can get a branch of the volcano so they can create electricity. Now, Tim, the people in the area, they are unhappy with what the government is trying to do because they don't know what's going to happen to their lives, what's going to happen to their health, and what's going to happen if they have to place them somewhere else. But I'm more concerned about Belle Plaine, which is in Myers Bridge. where the people want to drill, Tim, there is a natural spring water in that area. And that spring water has served the whole community of Belfort, Myersbridge, Victoria, in those days when we did not have pipe water. So we are calling on the government, please reconsider, because Tim, when the people drilled that spring, the chemical they're using to drill, that is going to poison the water, Tim. And we are very concerned about this. You understand? I remember they don't want people to cut trees because they're saying that if they cut the trees, it's going to affect the spring. But now they are coming to drill where the spring is. And whatever they're going to there is going to poison the water, Tim. You understand? And the people in the area, they are very concerned and they are asking the government to stop it. We are not happy with what they're going to do there, Tim. I remember many years ago, Tim, they did the same thing in Etangs. They drill Etangs, they drill Belfort, and they also drill in the Silver Spring. They could not get anything. I don't know, apparently there was some gas in the Silver, whatever, so they had to abandon the project. Tim, the people went and the people buried all the chemicals in that ground. And you know now, all these lands are wasteland, Tim. Wasteland, people cannot use it. They cannot plant anything on that land. And now, they want to come and do the same thing in Belle Plaine, close to a spring water. And we are not happy about that, and that's why I am talking. Because we want the government to reconsider and to stop it. What I'm saying is, where are the people who care about the environment? And the worst thing is, Tim, the people have not even come to people's homes to see how this is going to affect the people. Last Wednesday, they had a meeting at Myersbridge, at a town hall, at a dance hall. Tim, it was raining so much. People could not come out to that meeting, Tim. You understand? Mm-hmm. Now, I understood it was only 6 or 8 people that was at the meeting. Now, the people who are at the meeting are not the people who are living in the area. So we are very concerned, especially with that spring water, that natural spring water we have there. We never know what's going to happen tomorrow if we don't have to go back to that spring. And when they come and poison the water, all of us are going to be in trouble. Thank you, Tim. I just want the government to know that we are unhappy and we want them to stop what they are doing.
And this contribution was made on Wednesday's edition of NewsSpin. Any comments in the chat room before we take another break, Kimani?
Someone says the geothermal energy is not today that has been going on. Nonsense. Another comment in the chat room. Good day, Tim. Great show. Listening on board a Carnival cruise ship in Spain.
Wow. Hello to you.
Someone says agriculture is vulnerable as well, but I think we need both. Another comment. Agriculture should be the backbone for every Caribbean country. That's it, Tim.
All right. The broadcast will continue in just a moment with more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. What does PhD stand for? We'll be explaining in just a moment. And of course, as always, we have a whole lot in store for you. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It's called NewsSpin.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus takes charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Introducing the new LuSelect Virtual Service Desk, where one click is your access to every service. From my account to streetlight reports, requests for payment arrangements to settle arrears, change of name and address. Easy online forms give you access from anywhere and at any time. Every service you need at your fingertips. Go to our website, luselect.com, and click on the Virtual Service Desk widget. LuSelect's Virtual Service Desk. Every solution at your fingertips.
It all started with a penny For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more so the tingo. Is more wet flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More upon more wet flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video, can't stop. Unlimited talk, so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 $ to activate.
Now that's the new vibe and the lingo. Yes. More upon more, see how the tingo. It's more wet flow, now you really know. Catch it now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
An exquisite 3-bedroom modern villa, panoramic ocean views, well-equipped modern appliances, a plunge pool. Bon Esprit Villa. For that quiet getaway in a lush green space. Your home away from home. Understated decadence, tranquility, and harmony. For special occasions and weekend getaways, the perfect escape. Bon Esprit Villa. Book now. Call 486-7965.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel, and shoulder pain, cramps, and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Automotive art is a place to start. Automotive art is a place to start.
Yeah, look, check. We got a wide range of products that are automotive and do-it-yourself supplies if you got a moment. Smart staff that'll always know it. Got rims and tires from trucks to high performance to off-roading. Start hair tools, batteries, oil, and car care.
Automotive art is a place to start.
PhD stands for Doctor of Philosophy. It also stands for something else, and that is from this St. Lucia perspective. We have a meme there. It's on Facebook and YouTube. And PhD, in 2024, you need a PhD to drive in St. Lucia. What does PhD stand for? Pothole Dodgers. PhD. Pothole Dodgers. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. Let's see if we have a WhatsApp message. Good afternoon, listening as usual. Good show so far. I've been very concerned about the viral video that was going around recently, which showed a young lady being violated by two young men. Perhaps I missed it, but do you know if the incident occurred in St. Lucia, and if so, do you know whether the police made any headway in their investigations? The video was so disturbing I couldn't sleep the night I saw it. Well, with regard to the source of that incident, I don't know whether it is St. Lucia or if the incident occurred in any other jurisdiction in the Caribbean. But I did see that video. Quite disturbing. Another person says, imagine the road in front of Dame Paulette closed for a school activity. So this entire road is blocked without any prior public notice for school sports. This is unacceptable. I passed there about noon and the police have the road blocked off. So drivers have to pass elsewhere. I think this is very strange. This is unacceptable, but this is also St. Lucia. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Do we have a call? No, I don't think we do. Let's see. WhatsApp message. The Prime Minister and Security Minister is coming under undue pressure. He is supplying the police the tools necessary to get the job done. It is the police's duty and responsibility to find ways and means to get the job done. The Prime Minister does not send misguided people to kill each other. I rubbish the call by the deputy leader of the UDP, whose father was a police officer and who should know better, to call on the resignation of the Prime Minister for the killings happening in this country. This is utter rubbish. So what you're saying to me, we do not need a national security minister. We do not need a home affairs minister. We do not need agriculture minister, tourism minister, etc. Because apart from those individuals, you have other institutions that can function in the respective areas. The Prime Minister is responsible for finance also, and he is a policy maker. The Prime Minister is also a legislator. Okay? And the buck stops with the Prime Minister. And we should not be making excuses for any official, any government official, much less an elected official. When you elect people to represent you in a country, whether it is St. Lucia, whether it is Tuvalu, country that is in the Pacific, they have elections today, it is to ensure that you exist, you live in a safe environment, is to enhance your quality of living. It is to ensure that you are safe. I mean, citizen safety in St. Lucia is a headache. It is a serious problem that we are experiencing right now. And if you want to only blame the police, because the police, they are not in a position to speak for themselves. Unfortunately, we cannot get a police officer, we cannot get the police commissioner, any senior police officer on this program, and for them to speak their mind. Who is responsible for us not having a K9 unit right now? This is to the individual who sent the WhatsApp message earlier on, defending the Prime Minister and National Security Minister. Who decided, in their wisdom, who decided that they should disband the K9 unit? It is the Prime Minister of this country who decided to do that. It is not the police officers. And if you speak with police officers, they'll tell you that they are so disappointed. And you speak to them on the air, they're diplomatic, it's the Prime Minister who's make that decision, etc. We have a call. I think it is from Martinique. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Tim.
Good afternoon.
Tim, I myself should say that the Prime Minister self, that man should be the biggest police in the country. He should be the biggest police, because he's the head. Is he that make decisions, although he's with a put in position. But to tell you the truth, Tim, I was a Labour, but now it sucks. I don't support Labour anymore because of Richard Frederick and Stephen King. Big shame, man. I'm not supporting them fellas again. Shame. And as a citizen of St. Lucia, if I see a criminal activity going on, I should say, I will say, the Prime Minister says it's not police. I myself not police. I'm not reporting nothing because I'm not a police. If the Prime Minister could say he's not a police, he can do nothing about it. I myself is not a police. So he should be the biggest, to me, he should be the biggest police officer. And that's my point.
You're calling from Martinique, caller?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. All the best to you. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Kimani, Saki Gafet, a chat room.
Tim, the canine dogs are headed to Jamaica. Another comment in the chat. Someone says, every time the Labour Party is in power, they always talk about geothermal energy, but they never accomplish it. And I know that's what politicians do. Another comment, old man like Sam, he holds so many posts at SRDF while so many youths in Sufra need jobs. That's it in the chat room, Tim.
All right, somebody says there via WhatsApp. Let me try to access it. Tim, it's also my first time commenting on your show. I just want to bring it to your attention. I'm very concerned about this. Tim, you might have heard or not heard anything, but a young mother of Dennery committed suicide and passed away at hospital. But I haven't heard anything from the MP from the area, and I've also not heard about it on the media. Something must be wrong with Dennery. You heard about this, Kimani? No, you haven't. You haven't heard. No. Okay. It is always very sad when you hear, people committing suicide, whether it is in St. Lucia or any other jurisdiction. We know that it is very rife in Guyana, in a number of other territories, because you wonder why would somebody want to take their own lives, and it's for a number of reasons we'll not get into, but we're just urging people to seek help whenever you thinking about taking your own life, because I'm sure that help is available, and there are instances where people probably you can decide to speak with a trusted friend, a religious individual, and also there is the St. Lucia National Health Helpline that you can call, providing mental, social, and referring to mental, social, and emotional issues. And that number is 203. That is 203. We have a call. Good afternoon, NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller. Go ahead, caller.
You too clearly, but
go ahead.
But Tim, what's happening in Peru? What happened in Peru? I heard lots of people talking about something. What happened there?
Okay, there was a shooting incident last evening, and two men were shot and injured, as far as we know.
Oh, okay. Now, I'm hearing something about Sufra, Tim, where people got fired because of political affiliation, Tim. But Tim, can't we do better than that in this country? We're calling the country a democratic country, and you telling me this guy could use his powers to do them things. So, Tim, what this guy thinks? He gonna be in power all the time? What does he think? I have a message for this guy. I'm not threatening nobody. I'm just telling him how life works. One day, you will ask to die, and you will not die. You will ask for your death. God, make me die, and you will not be able to die. You will live and suffer for the people you put through this thing in suffering. Thank you.
All right. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Kimani, anything to report from the chat room?
Nothing of importance right now. Just side conversations in the chat room.
So you're saying that the people are just engaging in meaningless discussions there? I mean, are you insulting the people in the chat room?
Did I say that, Tim?
I'm just asking.
No, just some side conversations going on with regards to Shazzy in the chat room.
All right, we have a call. This is NewsSpin. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hey, GB, what's up?
I'm okay, sir. Good afternoon to you. Happy New Year to you.
Same to you, my brother. Kimani, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Kimani, you misunderstood PW with his response to Ernest Dile, to Sylvanus Ernest. What PW was trying to say.
No. Tell us what he was saying, not what he was trying to say.
Okay, what he said, or what he meant was that...
You can't tell us what he meant.
Okay, what he said.
I'm playing the role of
Was
Judge
that-
Judy today. Judge Judy. Don't tell us what he meant. Don't tell us what he was thinking of.
The inter-island ferry service, the vendors or the speculators that are going over to Martinique and Dominica and Guadeloupe from St. Lucia, they can carry as much luggage as they can. They can't do that on a plane. So they can carry from St. Lucia to Martinique and Guadeloupe, and from Guadeloupe to St. Lucia. Understand? You can't do that on a plane. And the duty is far less. Right? But Tim, what I called to tell you, that yesterday afternoon I heard you and Rick mention Chemical Ali. And I'm not referring to Uncle Tom. I'm talking about Saddam Hussein's most feared general. And you said that he was the spokesman for Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
Spokesman for Saddam Hussein was Tariq Aziz.
Yeah, but Chemical Ali was also a spokesman.
Was the general who used
Yeah,
him
but he
as
was
a
he was
guy.
also speaking on behalf of the president and the government.
Yes, you see, he was the general. He was the top general. He got the nickname Chemical Ali because he used the mustard gas in the desert in the war between Iran and Iraq in 1979.
Yeah.
In the desert where the over 100 Iranian soldiers in a blink of an eye withered and not even their bones could be found. That's where he got a nickname,
Chemical
Ali.
Yeah.
And that is where the U.S. really wanted to get rid of Saddam Hussein because they were the ones who gave them the gas. But they did not give it for him to use, just to use as a threat to deter Ayatollah Khomeini. Understand?
Yeah.
Right? So that's where he got the name Chemical Ali. He was the most feared general after Moshe Dayan of Israel that the Middle East have ever seen. But Tariq Aziz was the former ambassador to the United Nations, the Iraqi former ambassador to the United Nations, and that the Middle East have ever seen. But I called him to extend condolences to the Walcott family on the passing of Tom. Tom had his own ways, everybody knew that, but Tom is one of the few persons in St. Lucia that you could refer to as a gentleman. Knowing Tom and meeting him and speaking to him, you would never believe that the same Tom that would be on the platform. So I wish to extend condolences to his family, especially his brother Morrison and all the rest of the family. Thank you, Dave.
All right. Thank you so much. Now, we've heard a lot about the government's decision to disband the K9 unit. I think that was in either 2021 or 2022. I think it was in 2022. And the resultant effect. Okay, we'll not go into that. And the argument then was it was costing the state too much, $40,000 a month. I've since inquired and stumbled upon information that under the Proceeds of Crime Act, the government of St. Lucia, or the authorities, would use finances that were seized, property that were also seized, from individuals who, in the process, were engaged in illegal activities. You're found guilty, drug trafficking, thousands of dollars that you cannot account for. Those would be seized by the government of St. Lucia, and they would be, part of it would be used to finance certain things. That would include the K9 unit. So the property would have been applied to purchase vehicles and other equipment for law enforcement agencies. And the K9 unit was one such agency. And the initiative, I'm told, was initiated by the Home Affairs Ministry and also the Commissioner of Police. So it was fully financed from the monies in the proceeds of crime account. So therefore, it would be correct to say that it was done at no cost to the taxpayers of this country. In other words, no provision was ever made for it in the consolidated fund. So it was the criminals, ironically, the criminals who were financing the K9 unit. Here is hoping we can hear from the Prime Minister and National Security Minister on this, the Home Affairs Minister. If what I just said there is not true, provide some clarification. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. See, there's an interesting comment there regarding the female who apparently committed suicide over in Dennery recently. WhatsApp discussion taking place in the chat room, Kimani.
Says true. No one has said anything about the young lady. It is very sad. What have we become as a community? Dennery used to be one place where love was. SMH Dennery, come on, we can do better. Let's look out for each other. That's the comment.
Any more other comments in the chat room with going through?
We need both ferries and airplanes. There are things that you cannot put on an airplane. So has the reason that we need both. That's it, Tim.
Okay. Mr. Producer, do we have the statement? Okay, the particular statement we were trying to get, and unfortunately, it is not available. Our NewsSpin question of the day: what impresses you about the Philip J. Pierre administration? What impresses you about the Philip J. Pierre administration? Kimani, what impresses you about the Philip J. Pierre administration? Put you on the spot.
Timothy,
and I heard you.
Stop. What impresses me about the Philip J. Pierre administration? I guess their ability
not
to...
Not guess. Just tell me directly.
Their ability to...
To do what?
To promise St. Lucians things
Make
that
promises
they're not.
and don't deliver on those promises.
Yes. I guess.
You sure want? I guess. I think so. I don't want to face the ire, of Philip J. Pierre or the
Not really.
or the SLP government. Or
But
the
you put me on the spot. I can't think of anything right now. What impresses me? Nothing does. That's my answer.
That's your answer. Okay. Time now for our NewsSpin news of the day. Top UN court orders Israel to prevent genocide in Gaza, but stops short of ordering ceasefire. Top UN court orders Israel to prevent genocide in Gaza, but stops short of ordering ceasefire. Our NewsSpin news of the day. We're getting all set to conclude our broadcast, and we just hope again that we'll be, having a peaceful weekend. We will not record any shooting incidents, any homicides in our country, because we're already at 7 for the month of January. We need to bring this under some level of control. And truth be told, the criminal elements will not have a change of heart. The criminal elements will not decide on their own that the bloodletting has got to stop. Let me stop taking matters into my own hands. Let me stop injuring and killing young men like myself. It has to take some other entity. It has to take the police. It has to take law enforcement. It has to take the citizenry. It has to take the law enforcement agency that is the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. It has to take the Cabinet of Ministers. It has to take, in particular, the Prime Minister of this country, who is also the Minister with responsibility for Home Affairs. And not Home Affairs, but National Security. Incidentally, somebody sent me a message there, and it reads, Tim, the fact that the Prime Minister, that Mr. Philip J. Pierre is the Prime Minister, he is automatically the Chief Security Officer. I'll read it again. Tim, the fact is the Prime Minister is automatically the Chief Security Minister. I don't think he even knows that. That was a WhatsApp message I received earlier this afternoon. And that's the broadcast once again. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to the most monitored talk show in the world. Have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend, and we'll be back on Monday afternoon, same time, 12:30, with another edition of NewsSpin. Goodbye.